Hey, what's up everybody? Eric with Solo Box. Today I've been working on coming up with a notched box for 1150 GSAs. And so the exhaust side, you have to have a notch in the box. It's got to go around it. You can't use just a standard box. So basically what I have been working on is taking a box like this and making it so that it's got basically this part of it cut out of it. And man, I had to try all kinds of things today. Here's a prototype where I was trying to figure out how to get this front angle here correct, which wasn't quite right. And I built just tons of these things today. There's a bunch of them out here on the boat too. There's a slew of them here. Just trying to figure out where all the bends need to go and get everything laid out. One thing that a lot of people don't realize when you're working with metal like this is that when you make a bend on this machine, you have to account for the actual radius of that bend. And so it's not just a matter of measure, lay it out, bend it, and you're done. Like literally, I had to do a bunch of layout and bending today to get to where I could make one of these where it will sit completely square on the bench. And I know exactly how it needs to be laid out. So this, it took hours to get to that point. But what I also did is I built myself a jig so that they could be replicated. So this is that jig here, and it's similar to the jigs that I used to build the other boxes, except for the one major difference is that there's a reverse bend that has to be made in order to get this notch right. And that bend is this one right here. And so on this machine, in order to make all of the bends, so there's 6 bends. If they aren't done in the proper order from start to finish, you can't actually make this U shape because you'll run into clearance issues on the brake. So that was a lot of it today too, was to go through, figure out exactly where all the bends need to be made and in what order they need to be made in order for the part to come out correctly. So anyway, I'll show you really quick on the bike kind of what's going on here. So what I hope to do is get a box that can deal with this part of the frame here. And so you can see how that's going to rest on there and be a box all the way back. Now, one issue I do have is you can see that this Remus exhaust, it sticks up a little bit. And so as the box comes back, I'm going to have a little bit of a clearance issue right here. You can see with this sitting on here flat, it just barely is going to hit that. Now I think the upper mount part, I can build a bracket that'll push it down a bit. So I think I can come up with something that'll work. But my question to other 1150 GSA owners is, your stock exhaust, if you could take a picture like this and show me what the clearance looks like, I would appreciate it. And if you could email those pictures to gosolobox@gmail.com, it would very much be appreciated. So hopefully I can come up with something that will fix this. I actually had a guy call yesterday that is here in Washington State also, that's got an 1150 GSA, and he lost one of the lids to one of his stock boxes, and you just can't get that stuff anymore. So what I'm hoping to do is come up with a notch box for the exhaust side, and then you could just run one of my standard boxes on the flat frame on the other side, and maybe throw one of my top boxes on there, and you could have a really nice 3-piece set of luggage, so at a reasonable price. So I know there's guys out there that have these older bikes that don't have luggage options anymore because the market has kind of moved on to newer and better 1200, 1250, whatever, and kind of forgotten about the old 1150 GSA. But you know, I figure if it's good enough for Ian McGregor, it's good enough for me. Eric with Solo Box. Talk to you guys later.